Hey, and we're live.
That we are.
So here we are, episode 2 of the 8-bit Atomic Geeks.
Eight naked hillbillies, what?
Eight naked hillbillies. Yes, that is exactly right. Eight of them, precisely eight.
Eight.
Um,
Had my thumb there.
that's right. So yeah, here we are, episode 2. The goal with this one is we'll probably be a little bit briefer compared to our introduction episode. But this one will be kind of more of what I envision our format will be, as far as alternating between video game discussion and movie discussion. You know, the retrospectives around a lot of the stuff we grew up with and like, and how that relates to now and our memories and all of that. So yeah, just switching gears. Strictly Mario Brothers 2 tonight. So
Good old fashioned Super Mario Brothers 2. At least to us here in America. In Japan, it wasn't Super Mario Brothers 2. They had something different.
yeah, Doki Panic. Assuming that's how I've always heard it and pronounced it with my my southern
Right.
twist on things and way we pronounce stuff.
That's the kicker there.
We're amazing at butchering any language, so even our own.
Especially our own. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Welcome to the South, y'all.
That is absolutely right. So I can even say absolutely correctly. And I've only taken 2 sips of my beer, so which is not whiskey tonight. Tossing up a little bit. I've itched for a long time to drink out of my Super Mario Brothers 2 bar glass that I picked up and is in fantastic condition. A lot of them are gone, or the the stickers have wore out. We may come back to that a little bit later.
Don't put it in the dishwasher.
Yeah, no, this is hand washed, very very gentle. Um, but yeah, Doki Doki Panic, our Super Mario Brothers 2. And honestly, for my money, and I'm sure to those that had the original Mario Brothers 2, the legitimate Mario Brothers 2, I kind of got to go with our Mario Brothers 2 as the better of the two. Um,
I think I'm inclined to agree. And I don't know if that's because that's what we know, that's what we grew up with. At that time, we didn't even know about Super Mario Brothers: The Lost Levels,
right.
and so I don't know if it's just pure nostalgia or what that is, but I'm inclined to agree. Mario Brothers 2 was just a fun game. It was different from the first one.
Well, and I think that's why, to me, it is so much better. And again, I know, and that's probably blasphemy to some who maybe who didn't know, or have our Mario 2, but because to me, the Lost Levels was just more of the same. Obviously, way harder, um, uh, insanely harder. Um, but the design, it just looked the same. It was it was just more of the original. Whereas in my mind, even though it's Doki Doki Panic reskinned, to me, Mario Brothers 2 fits more with the whole line of Mario games, because they have what Mario has always had. Even once you get past 2, this natural kind of progression where the world just keeps getting bigger and bigger and more fantastic, um, and colorful. And so to me, it seems more like what we've been used to from Mario games ever since, where Miyamoto has constantly introduced new themes and designs and played with that. So yeah, to me, it just fits better.
And I had a thought. It just right out there.
And there it went.
There it went. So, and the thing they took like when you say it was more colorful, it was a different world. They took those themes, and this was to us. This was the first Mario game that was brought over here that had the, at least it was noticeable. I'm butchering English again. It was noticeable in which there were different themed stages. Your plains, your grasslands, your desert, your ice world. To me, it stands out as the first one to do that. It introduced a whole new slew of enemies and baddies.
And most of them, again, I kind of prefer them a little bit better. Plus, I mean, you get the bomb, for example, that has managed to be a mainstay of the mainline Mario games. I guess if the
Yeah,
mainline or whatever you want to call them, but it's been a mainstay. Um, Shy Guy a little bit here and there. He's not been as dominant as the bomb.
right.
Um, but yeah, it's there's a lot of enemies that I enjoy more with Mario 2.
The what was it? Sniff It. The guys that had the mask on with the bullet,
Mm-hmm.
the mouth that shot bullets.
Yeah.
Those they haven't really made a lot of appearances in Mario games, but they did make an appearance in the live action movie with Bob Hoskins.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a small, brief little cameo, and if you blink, you'll miss it. But you can hear him say, "Oh, sniff it!" And they're working in that quarry or that mine, whatever it is.
Yeah. Um, yeah, that's probably another good video for another day. Just a discussion around that movie.
There's a future
Um,
movie in there.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll probably definitely segue, based on prior episodes discussions to, we'll leave breadcrumbs where we're going to go. We may wait a while on Mario 2. That might be scraping the bottom of or not Mario 2, but the Mario movie. That would be scraping the bottom of the barrel in my mind because that's your.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I can call that one a guilty pleasure. Like it's one of the few. It is. It's bad.
Would you
It's
call it?
just.
Would you call it just guilty, or would you call it just pleasure?
It's guilty. It's guilty. I mean, there's probably a reason there has not been a decent re-release of that in modern times. Um, to my knowledge, and I'm not saying it's not out there, but I don't even know if there's a Blu-ray of that. It might be just a DVD.
I
So
think you're right.
yeah, but anyway, yeah, it's just it. I don't know. It's just it's not a top one of my top 5 games, but it's definitely very high ranking for me as a Mario. Um, and for me, for my money, I think it's the first one that I really felt that I could get a sense of accomplishment on and get very far. Um, I was on the young side, I was early, I was late on the NES era. So, I was young, so I played a lot of these. I wasn't like some people that were a lot older that were playing these. So, for my skill level at the time, the original Super Mario Brothers, even if I warp zone to World 8, I just could not make some of those jumps. I mean, it was an endeavor to beat the original Super Mario Brothers, and had a lot of help, had a lot of assistance. Um, so for me, Super Mario Brothers 2 was the first one that I can say I really felt like, I handled that one on my own and could grasp the mechanics, and the difficulty was just right. Um, even though, as we were just talking, you were getting your ass handed to you.
I absolutely was, and I was actually about to lead into something like that. It's really it's odd that that's the game that you can recall like making it some of the furthest along, and how much trouble you were having with Mario, just Super Mario Brothers, the first one. And what's
Mhm.
funny is I sat down here before we did this and started playing and tried playing Super Mario Brothers 2. I got to World 5-1, And at that point, yeah, crash and burn, crash and burn. Couldn't get any further. And but the thing is Super Mario Brothers. I could sit down and play Super Mario Brothers, use the warps, and beat that thing in 5 minutes flat.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's just kind of strange and weird that that's the case. You know, you got further in Mario Brothers 2 than you did in Super Mario Brothers. But right now, we could sit down probably and beat Mario Brothers 5 minutes flat. Done. Mario
Hmm.
Brothers 2, we're going to sit there. You better pack a snack, get a lunch,
Yeah.
because it's going to hand you your ass over and over and over and over again.
I think I think the last time I made a solid stab at two, kind of like you said, getting to World Five, piece of cake, no big deal. Um, and then yeah, that last little bit gets a little bit rough. But for me, I was at a point. I was good enough. It was nothing to just do a breeze playthrough straight to wart. No big deal.
Yep.
And and kind of what we were saying before we went live was just the it's back then. We didn't have this. There was a lot of games, but as kind of those those earlier gamers that we were, um, you know, uh, games were not plentiful. It wasn't just a quick download. There were no big game sales, and I know for us, birthdays and Christmas was when you got a game or
So you
two.
got your games. Yeah.
Yeah, and you better choose wisely, because that was your next game. That was your game for the next little bit, and
For the next foreseeable future. And I think
yeah,
it comes down to perspective. It's not that games weren't plentiful because they weren't out there. It's the games to us at the time weren't plentiful because we didn't have our own income. We were reliant on our parents or grandparents or family or friends or whatnot for, just like you said, birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, just because gifts. Congratulations on riding the bike for the first time without your training wheels gift. And, that didn't really happen. I didn't get that. But just, that's all you had to rely on.
hmm
And that game, once you got it, that's your game for the next foreseeable future. And
and
woe is to you for the one who got a game that you didn't ask for.
I I had one in my library that was just, it was awful, but it was a gift, and I know at the time it was because it was a video game. Well, he likes video games, so that has to be good. It's just a video game,
Video game.
Um, I think it
And
was like Time Lord or the Time Lord. I can't remember. Oh, it was a terrible game.
Rambo for the NES. I
Oh
got
gosh,
I still have it too. And
yeah.
the thing is I still got them. But you also got some gems. When your
Hmm.
parents or grandparents would go out there and buy you just whatever they would grab, you got some gems, some diamond in the rough type deals. And Metal Gear was one of those for me. So
Yeah.
I've got the original NES Metal Gear sitting in here. So
Well, and like with at our age at that time, and I know we're going off on a tangent here, but if you think about what we would have been watching, the cartoons at that time, we got to knock it out of the park with DuckTales, Chippendales Rescue Rangers,
mhm,
Darkwing Duck, all fantastic games. And yeah, you don't get licensed games like that anymore. And
no.
but as kids, I want the Darkwing Duck game. I want DuckTales. And we ended up with gems that nowadays those licensed games, yeah, odds are would not be great. Um,
I remember being over at your place and you would pop in DuckTales and start it up. And when that theme song hit, it was almost like, and I know it's nowhere near it, but to us at that time, it was like we're about to watch the show because that theme
mhm.
hit. I know it was those little rinky dink NES tones and sounds, but they did a phenomenal job on that DuckTales soundtrack for the NES.
They did.
And it just goes to show how far they could actually push that technology, that hardware. Um, even with the graphical differences between Super Mario 1 and Mario Brothers 2.
Mm-hmm.
It was an eye-opening difference.
Well, and that was the thing with 2 for me. Getting back to it was the level, the level design, the world was just it opened up my imagination. I mean, and there were some levels I just spent playing with the mechanics, and maybe that's why I got so good at it. Two part. The world intrigued me, and I loved exploring it, even though it was fairly linear. Um, but then also that whole, going back to I had nothing else to play, so I better get good at it.
Mhm.
I swear to this day, it's the only reason I can used to legitimately beat the original Ninja Turtle game. Where so few could barely make it past the dam.
I know that level 2, that second level, swimming underwater, trying to disarm those bombs was just it's why I'm bald today. Okay, I went bald at the young age of like 9, 10 years old, pulling my hair out for that damn level.
Hmm. And
But
in my mind, once you got past it, the rest of the game was a breeze. It really
up,
was.
up until you got to the Technodrome,
Technodrome was rough.
you had that one jump in the Technodrome that it just like you just mm, could barely make it.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, no, the level design. I mean, as I'm looking through, the level list and the colors and everything about it, the mechanics. You know, you'd hit I remember early on, it's like, well, okay, I can pull these turnips out of the ground and chuck them and take an enemy out, and
Yep.
now I can pick the enemy up and chuck him at an enemy, and then those all right, so here we go. Here's good discussion. The things that to me looked like acorns. Were they acorns? What are they? Like in most of the more dungeon themed, typically like around bosses, um, uh, like Fry Guy, for example. I'm looking at
Oh,
a picture. I'm looking at a picture of him and his fight like area, and like
you mean
Princess is chucking the thing at him, and to me it looks like an acorn.
those? It's the red and the white.
Yeah.
Op- those, and the only reason I know this is because I sat down and I read the manual.
And that's a lost art too. And I don't mean to interrupt. But that's a lost art too. I miss old school manuals because there used to be a
Yeah.
lot of good artwork, but then
Mhm.
also helpful
A lot
information
of
in them
a lot
too.
of good information, and I mean, if you want to go and this is kind of a sidetrack for just a second, but a game manual from the NES days that you want to look at that had great artwork in it, awesome information about the story, and good information about tips and tricks on how to beat and play the game. The Legend of Zelda.
Oh, absolutely.
That manual and that little tips and trick packet that had that little thing on it says "Do not open" or use as a last resort or something along those lines had awesome information in it. But the Mario Brothers 2 manual talked about the different items and what you could chuck at them, and but those things were actually called mushroom containers.
Okay.
And and so I guess it's a container in the shape of a mushroom, or it's a mushroom container because it contains mushrooms. I don't know. But that's the only reason I know that is because I saw it in the manual.
Okay.
RTFM.
RTFM. Absolutely.
RTFM.
Then. Um, yeah. Like I said, I'm looking at screenshots of them, and to me they were just acorns. Yeah. So
But yeah.
that's hilarious. Yeah, and even like I'm looking at at a screenshot again. It's Peach chucking the acorn at Triclide.
Oh, Triclide. Mm-hmm. No, that was the snake, wasn't it? Wasn't
Uh,
Triclide the three-headed snake?
the 3-headed. Yes.
Yeah. There was one. Wasn't there a crab?
Yes, yes, there was a crab. Um, uh, hang on. It's right there. Well, the wiki I'm on is claw grip, but I
That's actually ringing a bell.
yeah, because I don't remember him. I remember Triclod, Mauser. There's a lot of them I do remember, but there's some that yeah. I'm not remembering.
And the thing is as we've talked, and I remember in the last episode we talked about that. It's maybe it was in the last episode, maybe it was a conversation between just you and I off the record,
We
but
have these conversations so frequently.
I don't I don't remember. But it's where I was saying I can't remember the first NES game that I ever beat. What was the first
Hmm.
game I ever beat? And I'm
Oh,
wanting to think that it actually was Mario Brothers 2.
okay.
And the thing that's bringing that back is I remember getting through the game, and then when you finally made it to Wart, you hear this music that you've never heard throughout the entire game.
Oh, absolutely.
And that
I
was like my
loved his boss music.
yeah, that was my first real taste of like boss music.
Yeah, and
And
that's
it makes you want to just it makes your asshole swallow your underwear. All right. You just mm, and you just lose all sense
well,
of thought.
because compared to the whole rest of the game, and again, it's whoa, what is this? I've never
Mhm.
heard this before. This is new. Uh-oh, this can't be good. Um, I yeah,
I
that's
think
another, and honestly, this goes for movies too. Boss music is a lost art. And in reference to movies, soundtracks I feel like are a lost art. So many soundtracks are just so forgettable now. Movies and video games. Um, yeah, Wart's boss music, the boss music for Donkey Kong Country, um, Super Shredder
oh yes.
for Ninja Turtles. Oh my gosh, when Super Shredder's music kicks in, it's like I'm about to get my ass kicked.
I'm about to get beat.
Yeah, yeah.
Relentlessly.
You know, it's I don't know. I feel like we lost that somewhere along the way. And I don't know if everything got so super realistic with some of these games, where it's
Right.
more subtle, quiet, ominous, not loud. And I don't know. I miss, like I said, stuff like with Wart. Um, well, and then you go in and you've got to figure out this whole new mechanic for this guy that you hadn't seen in the game before.
You go in there and there's this big organ in there or whatever that thing is spitting out vegetables, and he's spoiler for those of you who haven't played the game. I mean, it's God, how old is it now? But you
Uh,
missed the boat. Okay, too
yeah,
late. But that thing spitting out the vegetables, and then next thing you know, he opens a big ass frog mouth, and there's this huge stream of bubbles coming out of it, and you're like, I don't know where to go.
yeah, and it's just it's like this whole mechanic that you hadn't seen the whole game, and there's not, to my knowledge, anything to really tell you, hey, you can catch those vegetables that organ is shooting.
You had to figure
Um,
it out,
well, and then you have to hit him at the right time.
right? Because I remember you cut. Okay, I caught the vegetable. Check.
It didn't work.
It didn't do
Shit,
anything.
shit. Now what do I do?
You gotta wait till he opens his mouth. He
Yeah.
hates vegetables. And here's another. That's another thing. It was in the manual. Wart hates vegetables.
Okay.
It was in the manual.
Okay. I don't know if I actually still. I've lost, regrettably, a lot of my old
Oh,
manuals.
I did too. And then
Um,
I hate it. It makes me sick on the inside, and I could go back and kick my child self for that.
mhm.
Um,
Well, for that matter, getting rid of so many boxes.
I know.
um, but and that was probably the one blessing with the Super Nintendo era is when they started moving away from the plastic sleeves that came with the SNES games,
Mm-hmm.
is when I started keeping my boxes.
Keep them in it.
And that's how I've got several pretty nice, I don't maybe not necessarily gems. I have a few, but it's extra special to me that I do have those boxes now. It, that if they had maintained those plastic cases, I probably wouldn't have kept them. Because I do have a lot of Super Nintendo games without the boxes because
They have the plastic.
they had the cases, and that was how I did the NES. Um, the only NES game I still have a box for, everything complete, is Mega Man 6. And that was just because that was like literally one of the last games
Yeah.
out there for the NES. And it just I
You
got
know,
lucky, I guess, with that one.
that makes me want to look something up because I know Mega Man 6 was one of the last games. Street Fighter Alpha 2 came in. No, that was on SNES. Final Fight Guy. Not Final Fight Guy. Let me just look it up, shall I? Can't find my keyboard. Home row keys. Lion King was the last licensed NES game.
Wow.
Yeah, it was released in '91 and in '91 in America and '92 in Europe and Australia.
Wow. Yeah, I don't even remember. I didn't realize there was a regular NES version of Lion King.
Me neither.
Um, and I'm sorry. I'm as I look over the Twitter feed, just make sure see if anybody's commenting on the sharing the live stream. I'm just Sony and Morbius. Anybody got time? Morbius back in theaters and on digital because it was so bad, and the memes were everybody was laughing at it. We're going to put it back in theaters to see if maybe we can lure in people off of morbid curiosity. Oh, I've heard just absolute garbage about that movie.
Right, and I'm actually looking at something here that's making me question whether The Lion King actually was the last game to come out. It says last licensed game. Because this list I've got pulled up has for December the 10th in 1994 released on Nintendo was Wario's Woods.
Let's see. I'm seeing here the last NES game released was PAL exclusive Lion King in '95.
95. What the heck?
No, because I seem to remember it was around 94,
Yeah, I read the
95 that I
I
got
read
Mega.
something wrong.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, I could have swore 94, 95 is when I grabbed Mega Man 6. Because I do remember I picked it up at a KB Toys. It was still full price. KB didn't discount for shit.
true.
But it was right at those last final days, which heck, at that point, last final days of the SNES, really.
Well, if
You weren't
there's
that far off it,
anything,
but they kept those games coming. They kept that content coming for a little bit, even after.
so yeah, The Lion King in 95. I was right about the title, wrong about the date. I just pretty much went to show that I'm illiterate. So there we go.
There was an Adventure Island 4. So that was number 4. Number 3 was Disney's Jungle Book. Number 2, Disney's Aladdin. Number 1, Disney's The Lion King, according to the list that I'm looking at now. So now I'm curious. When? Oh wow, I wasn't even really that far. I wasn't even that close at all. Mega Man 6 release date November 5th, 93. Which that was late enough in the year. That does line up with my memory of about 94 when I picked up Mega Man 6. And at that point, honestly, I don't even know why I picked it up. I mean, we were so deep into the SNES at that time. Um, but I don't know. At the same time, I go back and I think back to at that point in time, I kept both consoles plugged up,
I did too.
and I would frequently go back and forth. We didn't, in my mind back then, we just didn't have these hard set like generational walls that kind of came up later, where we just like drop it cold turkey, don't
Right.
look back. Yeah, no, I kept both. And honestly, even well on into the Super Nintendo era, I think maybe even the reason I never picked up Mario All Stars. I just went back and played Mario 2 on the NES. Mario 3. All of those on the NES.
I'm guilty on getting All Stars because I don't know what it is. I am a sucker of graphical and audio overhauls on older games.
Yeah, I mean it was great. I mean, don't get me wrong, All Stars was amazing. And actually, I've been on the Switch Online. I ended up playing. I was playing through Mario 3, the All Stars version, just because I'm like, well, it's here. I'll just play this version.
Not as well.
Yeah. But no, I've soft spot for Mario 2. The other thing about it, the usage of all the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah,
First game
having
that you could play as Princess Toadstool at the time. It was Princess Toadstool.
Yeah.
There was no Peach at the time that we were aware of. And it ends up her name is actually Princess Peach Toadstool. Whatever happened to Penelope? That's the girl that was in the cage with Donkey Kong. But,
she may still be in that cage. When Mario was just finally like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna hop in this pipe over here and see what I can find, what else I can get into. He just left her in the cage, and Donkey Kong was just like, well, I guess I'm going back to my island and I'm gonna fight a bunch of lizards.
Left her high and dry.
Yep, she is still in that cage. But yeah, and Toadstool was my favorite character. She was my go-to. That float was just
OP.
Awesome. It really was. And maybe that's why I navigated through Mario 2 as well as I did at that time. And yeah, the float was the awesome.
She did make so many of those jumps so much easier.
Yeah.
And
now Luigi had height, right?
Yeah, Luigi had height, and he had a float, but it wasn't the same as Toadstool's float. So Toadstool, you could hold the button down, and she would just hover. But Luigi, he would jump, and that's the thing is you see his feet just do this, and he would
like paddling, trying to.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so each one had a different ability. Mario ran the fastest. Luigi jumped the highest. Toad was the strongest. So whenever you picked vegetables or picked up enemies with Toad, it was just done.
Yeah.
And then Toadstool or the princess could float.
So I don't know that I ever realized that about Toad. I don't ever think I was able to. I didn't put together his, and I don't know. I just hated the little guy. I just never went with him.
It's all because of those days where he kept going, the princess is at another castle.
Yeah. It's like, can I just treat you as another enemy? Just squash you and keep moving on to the next one.
Hey, Toad.
So
that's for you, buddy. That's for you, Toad.
But yeah, so no, it would be Toadstool or Mario is the ones I would go to, because you could select between levels sometimes, and yeah, but no, Peach was it. Just the secrets in the game, before we went live, the whole, you could place a potion, in entirely different places and get entirely different results.
Yeah.
That's how you got the extra health, the extra coins. You found the warp zones.
Mm-hmm.
When I did my playthrough a few months back, there was one of the warp zones that stuck with me, but I could not remember the other one. And actually, it may have just popped it back in my head. It was on a whale. It was on one of the whale levels, wasn't it?
It was. It was on a well level. If
Yep.
there's a section between two of the wells that it's on an overhead, and as you're going along that overhead, you'll see this island sitting there with one lone
Yep.
tuft of grass that you can pull up, and that's where you. No, not a tuft of grass. It was one of those vases
Yeah.
set there, one lone vase, and that's where you could throw the potion down and do the warp zone there.
That's it. Yeah. It literally just popped back in my head that's where it was.
Mhm. And then the other one, the very last one I remember is like at the end of a platform with a vase there, but I can't remember what level it is. I can't remember if it's on level 6 or level 7.
I don't know that I ever used the third one. I think I would warp on one, and then hip hop, hip hop, hop through to 5, and then 5 to that warp zone with the whale, or not 5. I'm sorry, 4,
4, yeah.
and then that would usually get me far enough to carry me on through the rest of the game. Because I always remember fighting Triclide, and for whatever reason, to me, and granted, World 7 was only 2 levels instead of 3. World 7 was a breeze.
It was. As far as like final worlds go,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a breeze because if you made it through that, so if you did the warp hopping just right, it wasn't bad at all.
Super Mario Brothers 3 had the hardest final level.
Oh my god!
That world 8 was a nightmare.
Whew. Yeah, Reflex City, man.
Thank God for the P-wing.
Right? Yeah, no, exactly. That one was hard. But yeah, and then for the game to just end up as a dream.
Yep.
And I've always argued that, and I said this on the last one. I really feel like it was a it's been a missed opportunity for Nintendo and Miyamoto, and I don't know, maybe it comes down to some rights or licensing somehow, even though they use bombs and Shy Guys.
Right.
I feel like it's been a missed opportunity to not have Wart and a lot of these guys come back in and reintroduce them in a meaningful way in a new Mario game, and just wreak havoc. I don't know. It just feels like a missed opportunity to not bring them back. All of them back. I mean, Triclide, Mauser. Of course, Mauser's in the cartoon, which was this weird hybrid of Mario 2 and Mario 1.
Well, I'm doing, and I know I look distracted a little bit because I was doing a search on why Wart has never appeared again. Why?
Oh, you're consulting the Google.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe it is a rights thing, because obviously, yeah, Doki Doki Panic, they repackaged it. Yeah. But again, I go back to Bombs and Shy Guy. Let's see here.
And
I'll let you do the search. I'll let you.
Well, I don't know. I did pretty poorly on the last one. And the thing is even like taking a look at the Super Mario Brothers cartoon that they had going, all the Super Mario Brothers 2 enemies was appearing in that under Bowser.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
appeared under Bowser. Mauser, right? Fry Guy,
Mm-hmm.
Shy Guys, Sniffits, all these, even that little pigeon bird on the flying carpet, all appeared under
The
Bowser.
albatrosses.
Yeah. but the one you never seen show up was Wart. And
Yeah.
so, what's the deal? I do a search about Wart, and then they're talking about Wario. What the heck?
No. No.
Oh,
Hmm. Yeah, like I said, I've always felt it was a missed opportunity, but I don't know. At the same time, Miyamoto has always been known to and Nintendo as a whole, they march to the beat of their own drum, and they do things their way, and that is how they do it. And I don't know. Maybe I'm looking at it from our perspective on this side of the ocean. Because I've argued for years. There's been games, and anime and stuff that should have been remade, or not necessarily remade, but updated. Um, you know, update the animation or the graphics or something. Just revisit it, and they're not. They
yep.
don't. They're not big on revisiting a lot of things. I mean, how many years went by before we finally got the Koopa Kids back after Mario 3 or Super Mario World? I'm sorry. They disappeared for a long while.
Well, here's a list of games that Wart has actually appeared in. Um, there's the Unikojo Doki Doki Panic, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario All Stars, Super Mario All Stars, and Super Mario World remake. Um, Super Mario USA for the Super Famicom, Satellaview,
Mm.
Super Mario Advance, Mario All Stars, NES Remix 2, Remix Pack, Ultimate NES Remix, Paper Mario, Color Splash,
Yeah, I was just looking at the Paper Mario. Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers. But here's the big one: Super Mario Maker 2 makes a cameo in Mario Maker 2.
I got Mario Maker 2, but I didn't play it near as much as I did the first one.
But here's the big one. Here's the surprise: The Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. He appears in it as an enemy called Mamu.
Yeah. Now I do remember the Link's Awakening one. I do remember him from Link's Awakening, which makes sense because Link's Awakening is a dream.
It's a dream.
Yeah.
So maybe he just appears in dreams.
Maybe. I don't know. I think that I still feel like there's room for, him to hop out of the dream world and him and Bowser team up and just wreck stuff.
This is the Super Mario Brothers version of Freddy Krueger, right here.
Yeah, he really is. Bowser is Voorhees.
So we had Freddy versus Jason. How about Bowser versus Wart?
Right.
We'll have Bruce Campbell come in and play Mario.
There we go. Mario versus Bowser versus Wart.
Right. If any of you Hollywood types watch this, don't go off and make that without bringing us into it, okay?
Right. It's got to be better than, the first Super Mario Brothers movie.
I know Bob Hoskins would think so if he were alive today.
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Oh, the stuff I read about from him on that movie. Oh,
yeah,
he hated it.
He hated it. He said that was probably his biggest regret was that
I
movie.
don't blame him. I don't. I can't fault the man for that one. That, there's sometimes I'm just like, just act and do your, enjoy what you're doing. You're getting paid to make movies. I can't fault him on that one.
Oh, he was also known as Mamu in Doki Doki Panic. He wasn't called Wart. He was
Okay.
Mamu. And so it's the same guy, same character, appeared in both Zelda and Mario, but only in dreams.
So there we go. So yeah,
we learned something today. The more you know.
Yeah, part of the fun of doing this. So yeah, yeah. Actually, I still feel like it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of the branding that we got back then was all around Mario 2. Do you remember that? It seemed like before Mario 3 came out and hit big, it's like, yeah, we got Super Mario Brothers, but I feel like literally all the artwork, all the the action figures, the comics, whatever marketing, merchandising we had was built around Mario 2.
Yeah.
I mean, right
Marketing,
here,
advertising. It's the
you
the mug
my
is the big thing, and it's too bad Sound Geek isn't on here with us because I don't know. And you may have this because I know I don't have mine anymore. I am just beside myself because I don't. But the very first issue of Nintendo Power magazine
I do not. I
was
have the very last issue, but I do not have the very first.
was Mario Brothers 2. I had the first 12 issues, and I have no clue where they've gone. They've gone to
Oh,
Way of the Dodo along with my Final Fantasy 3 and my Secret of Mana, and I am just I'm livid. But at
those are
least I
hard
found
hits.
at least I
Those
found Hero Quest.
That's true. You do
Yeah.
have the Hero Quest. Um, no, I did not. I didn't have. In fact, I have a very large tote upstairs that someday I will need. I will need some assistance carrying downstairs. It is a tote
Yeah.
filled with all of the Nintendo powers I did have from the point I subscribed to the point that I quit. Which, I mean, I quit many years before Nintendo Power actually ended. Um, but I do have quite the tote of Nintendo powers.
And magazines are heavy.
Yeah, that adds up very fast.
Yes.
But going like to my glass, again, where was because they're not hard to find on eBay, and it's or Mercari, whichever. Um, and they vary in condition. And honestly, I couldn't be happier with this one. I didn't pay much for it. I think it was my first Mercari purchase, and I had like a coupon for buying my first item from it. So Mercari actually footed some of the bill. And the guy wasn't charging a lot. These things they're not worth a whole lot at all.
Right.
Um, $20, $25, which I mean, this is a heavy duty old school bar glass. So that's very, very reasonable. Um, but I've often wondered where were the bars that these were at? Or and I think a lot of the old pizza joints that I miss so much. Um, that we had back then.
Yeah.
All the mom and pop places, they'd slap in a few arcade machines, good, local mom and pop pizza, cheap beer. Obviously, I wasn't drinking then, but it was an atmosphere. It was something about that era. But I've often wondered where where were those bars that had these? And I'm trying to make sure it's shown that the glare is god awful,
Horrible.
but I mean it has the copyright 1989 Nintendo of America Inc. I don't know if I will make it. It's
Eh,
not working. No,
no.
just barely. You can barely see the line. But I mean, this was a licensed glass. And I mean, it's a bar glass. I mean, this thing is stout. And I'm just like, where were those places at? um,
I don't even know if they existed, quite honestly. I know, our parents definitely didn't take us into any joints or dives like that.
right.
The only place that I can think of that actually served alcohol that we went to on a regular basis was your nice old school checkerboarded tablecloth red plastic cupped Pizza Huts.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
but I don't recall that mug.
No, like I said, I've often wondered where were these at? Because like I said, they're not hard to find. A few searches on eBay or Mercari, you can get one. Like I said, the conditions vary. So to me, says it was decently widespread, but like I said, I often wonder what the story is behind these glasses. And I don't even know how I managed to learn about it. And I don't know. May have just popped up randomly, searching through eBay one day, and I'm like, "Holy crap, that exists!" And I'm like, "I gotta have one." And like I said, I got lucky. The guy in Mercari, he was selling one in fantastic condition. Um, and honestly, it's the first time I've drank out of it. I've not had the heart to, but I figured, this was a special occasion to bust it out. So
And you said you've got to have one, so we're going to bust out our random movie quote of the night. It will be mine. Oh
it will.
yes,
Oh
it will
yes.
be mine.
And what's funny is all the iconography on this thing matches Mario 2, except for this one turtle shell. And again, I know the glare. Hang on, wait, turn it there.
Yeah, those turtle shells were in Mario 2, but they weren't green. It was a
Yeah,
power up. You pulled it up out of the ground. It was a red shell. You threw it, and off it went, taking out everything in its
it's
path.
it's the only
But
thing that's a little odd about it. Beyond that, um, you got the cherries, the hearts, all the everything else was Mario 2 with it. So,
Mario 2 was also known for bringing back that POW block. POW.
oh yes, the POW block.
Because the original Mario Brothers arcade game, where you were Mario and Luigi and you had to hit the turtles from underneath or the crabs from underneath and then kick
Mm-hmm.
them off the stage, had that POW block there at the bottom in the center of the levels. And it didn't make an appearance in Super Mario Brothers, but it made an appearance back in Mario Brothers 2. I
Yeah,
don't I don't recall it in 3. Do you recall it at any stage in 3?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see here. Now I'm gonna hit the Google and see what I can find here. POW block. So according to this, appearances: Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, and the new Super Mario Brothers series.
Hmm.
Other appearances: Paper Mario series, Mario Power Tennis, and Mario Kart series.
Mario Kart, the POW block? Must
In
know why I
Mario
haven't played.
Kart Arcade GP2, the POW block appears as a special item for Waluigi. When used, it causes an opponent to be stunned for a short amount of time. In Mario Kart Wii, which oddly enough, I think is the only Mario Kart I didn't buy. I don't know why. Now that I think about it, some reason I did not pick up the Mario Kart Wii. But it's in it, and it hurts all enemies ahead of you, but spares those behind you.
Hmm.
So that's according to Mario.fandom.com.
It's another
So,
one of those good last place power ups,
mm-hmm.
like the blue shell.
Oh, the hell with the blue shell! I hate that damn thing.
And some
I'll die on that hill. That was Nintendo's worst item
edition,
added to Mario Kart.
it's worse in some Mario Karts than others. And some Mario Karts, when you shoot it off, it hits everybody in front of you and then
Mm-hmm.
hits the first place. And the other ones, like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it just flies by everybody and smacks first place. So I don't know. It depends on, I guess, which one you're playing, but it still sucks.
There's some
Either
I'm
way.
just like it, like literally every single race that I'm leading, the computer always gets a blue shell,
A blue shell.
and it always hits me right near the finish line. So I get second by the computer. Oh, I think that's why I stopped playing Mario Karts. I would get so damn pissed at that shell. Yeah,
If it wasn't the blue shell, it was the lightning bolt. If it wasn't the lightning bolt, it was the ink splatter on the screen.
yeah.
it was just one thing after another.
But yeah, and the one thing we hadn't hit on the soundtrack. I mean, we did a little bit, with the boss music, but all of Mario Brothers 2 had a fantastic soundtrack.
It did, and I know they used the music from Mario Brothers 2 a lot in the actual cartoon show.
Yeah,
The original Mario Brothers theme that everyone knows by heart, whether they're whistling it or just throwing out a random da 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 da. It doesn't appear hardly at all in the cartoon show, except for the Super Mario Brothers Super Show that had Captain Lou Albano in it. They did that whole
God
rap
rest
song
his
around
soul.
it. Yeah, rest his soul too. They had that whole rap to that theme, but
Yeah,
that's the standout one. It was the Mario Brothers 2 music in the cartoon.
yeah. It's like I said, it was a weird, um, it was a weird time because like I said, it was so much. Everything seemed to be geared towards two in all the marketing, and like I said, the cartoon, even though the cartoon still had Bowser. Um, I need to that could be a good video someday, good episode down the road is the Mario cartoon, the original one.
Yeah,
Um, and maybe see, maybe go back and look at maybe some of the reasonings or what shaped that. Was it just completely random? Did Nintendo Japan have a say in it? And we're like, okay, if they were making it for an American audience and they went back and they were like, okay, we get you want to use the Mario 2 assets, but Bowser's our guy. You got to use Bowser. And I don't know, I'm purely speculating, but you got to wonder what went on behind the scenes for that.
right.
Because
What were they?
obviously it was very clearly, of course, I don't know, I could be wrong. Maybe it is a Japanese production, but to me, it seems to lend itself to be more of a American production, and even the animation style at the time lends itself to more of what we
What?
had then.
Yeah, what we had here in stateside, not your traditional or normal looking Japanese animation.
Hmm.
So there's definitely truth to that. Gonna have to look
So
that one up too,
yeah,
but
like I
probably
said,
not right
that'll be a great one for an episode down the road, I think. So yeah, and and I'm trying to think of I'm looking here at the side, the information. Um, came out October 1998. Um, and I'm thinking back. I don't remember when I got Mario 2 in the grand scheme of things.
now. You mean 89?
According to the side wiki, it says the game was first released in North America in October 1988.
88. You said 98, I think. That's what threw me off.
Ah, I have to go back and watch the replay. I don't remember. I read
Foul.
in my mind. I read 1988. I don't know. Maybe I said 1998.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just deaf.
I mean, well, I am too. I am definitely that too. So, um, but yeah, I don't remember in the grand scheme when I got that one. I do remember for Christmas, I got the Nintendo set, with the NES, two controllers, the Zapper, and Mario Duck Hunt. The combined cartridge.
Yep.
Honestly, that's anybody I know has the combined cartridge. I don't know anybody that has just the Mario Brothers cart. And I don't know, maybe that goes back to kind of our market around here at that time. Maybe distribution didn't get down to us like it did, everywhere else. Um, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know that I know anybody that has just a straight up Super Mario Brothers cart.
Yo.
You do?
Right. Yep.
Okay.
When I got mine, I got the set that had it was just a control deck, two controllers, and Super Mario Brothers as the pack in.
Okay.
That's all that mine came with.
And you got 4 years on me, so yeah, you'd have been early enough because yeah, your collection was way bigger than mine back then. Um, and you had a lot of those earlier original run games. Um,
I had Excite Bike, which I actually gave to you.
yep, I
Um,
still have it. I have my and someday I do want to get a nice display going for a lot of those games. But no, actually, I finally like organized all of that, so I know where all my stuff is. Um, but yeah, no, I've still got my Excite bike.
Baseball was one of the original releases, and Super Mario Brothers. I know I've got that, but
Mhm.
I'd have to crack it open to take a look at everything I've got. I know I've got Double Dragon 3. For some reason, I never got a hold of Double Dragon 2.
Mhm.
Never got that. I don't know why. I have Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, Hogan's Alley, and Gumshoe. I know I have those for
I
as
remember you having those two. Yeah.
the light gun. Man, what else? Ninja Turtles, the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. But
Okay. Yeah.
I never picked up the arcade, Ninja Turtles 2 arcade and Turtles 3 Manhattan Project. I never picked those up. And
Really?
yeah, I don't know what it was, but for some reason, like as yours started picking up and you started getting those, it's like mine started dropping down. I don't know why. I'm not sure what the deal is. I don't know if I just went for other games. I
Well,
don't
now
know.
you kind of went a little there. I mean, there was a lot of times we did like sync up on our purchases, and but there was a lot of times too. Yeah, you went your way and I went mine.
Mhm.
And maybe some of that goes to you had 4 years on me, and I was the peak audience for Ninja Turtles, whereas you were just enough ahead. I don't know. Maybe that's where you're because I mean, and don't get me wrong. I know you had turtles. You collected turtles.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm just thinking that by the time the arcade game came out and Turtles 3 came out, maybe you were just enough older that you were kind of like, I want to
Yeah.
grab something else, right?
Let's get Mega Man 5 instead, or something to that effect. Because I've got
Right. I mean, any number. I mean, it's so hard to remember back to some of that. But yeah, and that's one reason, honestly, I'm looking forward to that Ninja Turtles collection. Gosh, that game
yep,
can't. I wish they released that thing already.
it can't
Um,
come fast enough.
that and the new one, the new one from the guys that did Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well. I'm trying to remember
And
the
it's
name
it's
of the company. Let's say I don't have it.
I'm drawing a blank too. But yeah, I was telling someone the other day. I said it's a sad state when I'm at a point that I'm just looking forward to games that are pretty much the same and what we played 30 years ago, 40 years ago almost. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to that Turtles game more than I am just about anything else right now. I don't know. I still love the game, but they're not producing much right now. That's interesting me.
No, they're
Interesting to me.
not.
Whatever.
It's gaming today. Really, I think there's a lot more out there today than there ever was when we were younger,
Yeah.
and I do have this fear that there could be, and I think it's probably it's not a justified fear. People will probably say, "Oh, you're stupid for thinking that," but part of me can't help but fear that there could be another crash, because the whole reason the video game crash happened in the 80s the way it did is because it became oversaturated, and it
Hmm.
became oversaturated with nothing but pieces of shit. I mean, there's
Yeah.
whole entire landfills out there. I mean, you got that story that everyone knows about, this landfill full of ET cartridges that were never sold. But what
Yeah.
a lot of people don't really take into consideration in bring into is the full story that ET wasn't the only cartridge out there in that
Right.
field. It was
Yeah.
it was full of others as well, and it caused the big crash. And quite honestly, we have Nintendo to thank for coming in over here and saving the video game market's ass.
With good quality products. And granted, that seal of they put
Yeah,
on stuff back then wasn't always indicative of something great.
thanks
Um,
LJN.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, they up that quality, and there's quality games now. It's just I don't know. I feel like it's much harder for me to filter through stuff and find something that really, and I don't know, maybe I've just been in it too long. I'm very, very sensitive and picky to what I want to play.
Yeah.
And like I said, maybe that's why I'm more excited about going back and just playing old stuff on a new console. I mean, I don't know, but we're getting a little bit off into it, but yeah, that Ninja Turtles, um, I can't, I'm looking forward to that collection, but I can't think of, yeah, I can't think of like where Mario Brothers 2 came in with my purchases. I remember I
You
feel
remember
like Ninja
there?
I feel like Ninja Turtles the arcade game was maybe a good report card slash um birthday. Let me see when that came out, because I do remember I watched like a hawk for that game, because thanks in part to uh, Nintendo Power. I mean, Nintendo Power did more for selling games than anything.
It did.
Um,
And I want to think that the actual Ninja Turtles arcade game came out before the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartridge for the NES.
yes,
And
it did.
there, while the Ninja Turtles game itself was a good game as a standalone, it wasn't the arcade game. And I think there was a lot of backlash and disappointment about that. And so that's why they made Ninja Turtles 2 an arcade port.
Let's see here. I'm looking. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. Really, IGN? You gave it a 6.7 out of 10? That's why nobody treats you seriously anymore.
For real.
It's what it says on the side wiki here. And it's just a bunch of pictures. I can't even tell if it's really for the actual arcade game or Turtles 2, the arcade game, the NES game. Um, but really, I mean, that was like peak beat 'em up back then. Come on, how can you piss off IGN? Again, that's why nobody takes you seriously anymore.
That's why you have
Um,
a bunch of trolls in your chat rooms, or not your chat rooms, but your comment sections.
God,
So
ain't that the truth? Let's see here. I'm trying to find like an actual release date, and because I mean, granted, it don't really matter, but I was just trying to chain with my memory of when I would have got that one, and I don't know, that's segueing off of Mario 2 and just so many games. All right, according to this, December 14th, 1990. Maybe I asked for it for Christmas.
it's
I don't,
possible.
I don't remember. I know I never actually used my my coupon for my free personal pan pizza. I never got that. I never did it.
I wonder if you can still turn it in.
If you can find a Pizza Hut.
It's true.
um, but yeah, no, I have no recollection of when Mario 2 came in. If I had to guess, maybe my birthday, because I think back to, I know I got the NES Entertainment System full package for Christmas, and there is a picture out there of me, you know, the excitement after opening that. So if I had to guess, yeah, Mario 2 probably came for my birthday, 6 months later. I don't know. But there's a lot of games, yeah, I don't remember, and maybe that just has to do with the time and that age because I was 6, um, 7, 8 during my peak NES era. So
Mhm. But Mario 2 was definitely a different creature, and it was different from the rest, and it still stands out as different from the rest because, Mario Brothers 3, it came back out, it went back to your traditional uh, smack the question mark block, get the power up, get a coin, break the bricks, jump on the enemies and kill them uh, type of gameplay that Super Mario Brothers 1 was known for. And every Mario game that came after that, up I think until I don't know. I never played Mario World 2, so I don't know much about it. But Super
talking about
Mario,
Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island.
yeah,
I played it, I beat it. I'm not a big fan of the Yoshi's Island series.
and now I'm glad I didn't play it.
Yeah, because here's my issue with it, and again, I know we're hopping off, but that's part of it. We're just here. We're geeks. We're talking. We're having a great time. Um, I think the reason I never cared for the Yoshi's Island Yoshi's series is because I went out and rented Super Mario World 2 fully ready for another Mario World, and I got a Yoshi game.
It was
And
Yoshi.
and a baby Mario. It wasn't just Yoshi alone because I loved Yoshi in Super Mario World. But yeah, I just the whole baby Mario thing and all of that, and I know it has its fans, but I don't know. Yeah, I walked in and got one product and left disappointed, and it is a great game. It really is. It was just that whole getting something else than what I was expecting based on the title.
Right.
So yeah, you're not missing. I don't know. The targeting system's kind of cool. Yoshi, gets this sniper egg shooting accuracy
But what's
that
it do?
he
Spit missiles?
um he just, he kicks these eggs and other items. Like you get like a targeting reticle and can like launch it across the screen. It's different, but yeah. I've never been a Yoshi's Island fan. It's definitely more for the younger crowd.
Yeah. So I guess it kind of broke away from your traditional Mario build.
Hmm.
And then I know Mario 64, and this is where I'm probably going to get a lot of grief. Mario 64, I think, was a good Mario game, but it ranks as down there on the lower end of the totem pole for me
Hmm.
because simply it did go away from that traditional Mario power up system. And I think it's kind of hypocritical of me to say that about Mario 64 and not say that about Mario 2. But again, Mario 2 has that nostalgia factor.
Yeah, but it was still a side scroller.
True.
It still held enough, I think. Um, it still held enough. I think maybe that would be the difference to me. Um, I I semi agree on Mario 64. It's the one I have revisited the least, but simultaneously, I don't know that I could have been any more excited for that game.
Right. 3D
And
Mario, you know?
and 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 it is one of only 2 Mario games that I have got every single thing in the game. Every star or whatever, at the time.
Right.
It's the only one of only 2 that I have full on did everything. And the other was Super Mario World.
Super Mario World, I did that. Mario 64, and then I think it was New Super Mario Brothers on the Nintendo DS. I got every single coin that you could get on every single stage.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even do that one for that one. And I mean, and I love that DS one. It was great. I can still remember, we used to bring our DSs to movies, and we'd play those mini games. We'd connect up,
Yeah,
play those mini games before the movie would start.
I forgot all about that. We
Yeah, man, we wore that out. I love that back
we,
then.
we absolutely did. Of course, that's our crew was a lot bigger then, and we saw each other a lot more than we do now. But that was good times.
Yep. So,
Good times.
but well, I think that's about all that I've got for Super Mario Brothers 2. In our retrospective and talking about it, what it meant to us, some of our memories tied to it. At least that's all that I can remember. Um, yeah, I spent a lot of time with it. It was a great game. It's a lot of fun. Um, if we're just looking at Mario Brothers games, I would put it in a top five.
I think I would.
Uh, I
Now I've not played as many. Quite honestly, I've not, but it's up there.
if I was ranking my Mario Brothers, it's hard, but I would say Mario World as number one. Um, then probably Mario. Oh, it's close. It is so close between Mario 2 and 3
It's
because I have
difficult,
so
right?
many memories tied to both games. I would say Mario 3, then Super Mario Brothers 2. Um, and then for number 4, I would say Mario 64. And again, I'm tying a lot to memories and events and my life at that time. Um, yeah, number 4 would be Super Mario 64. And then finally, um, I would say Galaxy 2.
Okay. I'm gonna have to go with Mario 3 as my number one. Mario World is my number two. New Super Mario Brothers Wii, Mario Brothers 2, then Super Mario Brothers. Mario 64 doesn't even make the top five.
Okay, that's all good. Um, yeah, and and I know I will probably repeat this story if we do this for an episode. Um, but Super Mario World just had this whole level of excitement for me that I had never had with gaming before. And so much of it spawned off. It's because of that perfect storm with the Super Nintendo and Mario World. And at that point, I was old enough to appreciate you know this new console launch, this whole new era of gaming
Right.
that I missed out on. I was by the time I was, I guess, self aware for lack of a better term or whatever. The regular NES had been out for a while, so yeah, Mario World, was just magic for me. But again, all of those in my top five have these memories, these events, and like I said, I'll go into them when we, maybe eventually get into all of these different Mario's down the road. But
Hmm.
uh,
I think one of the good things to close on is that we want to talk about our influences and what brought us into gaming and kept us into it and helped make it fun and really helped make it one of our primary fond memories of childhood. Is that, and this is something that we can maybe do as an honorary thing at some point a little down the road, is we actually did have adults in our life
mm,
that played games with us and that would sit down and had the not only the patience but the actual genuine interest to sit and watch us play these games
yeah,
and would actually contribute and help us and walk us through it and say, "Did you think about doing this?" Or, "Hey, how about you go over there and try that wall?" And I think
Hmm.
they had a huge influence as well in
Oh
keeping
yeah,
us, and they were supportive
yeah,
as an adult figure should be.
yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, and maybe part of the reason that maybe we kind of deflected. I know I mentioned in the last episode. We were we kind of paved the way because of bullying and stuff. From when we started with gaming, and maybe that's a big part of why maybe we endured and through some of that so well. It's because like, well, my mom plays video games,
Hmm.
so piss off.
I remember beating a game called Rygar, and that came out on NES. It's touted as one of the harder games on the NES, and the thing is I remember beating it simply because I had Kathleen behind me going, "You know what? That item you got, you should try it right there."
Hmm.
Sure as
Yeah.
shit, it,
Yep.
it worked, and we beat it. So it's one of those things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, kind of closing. That's kind of a lot of what we'll tie to what we talk about and what we do and why this is important to us and just I said it last episode. We tie a lot of these memories to these games and these hobbies and movies. Um, so it's more than that. And without getting too deep into it, it's why I get so protective over a lot of franchises. Whether it's movies or video games, and it's kind of like, yeah, we absolutely did kind of pave the way. So
We did.
um, you know, we'll welcome anybody to any of these things, but kind of show a little bit of respect and appreciation for these OG franchises
For
and
what
how
came before.
for what came before and how it was. You know, let's not water it down. Let's not make it crap. But yeah, there's more to it than just the game or just the movie. It's yeah, there's a lot of memories, a lot of emotions tied to a lot of this.
Most definitely.
So but yeah, so we'll wrap up. Here we managed to go almost another hour and a half again. I'm going to say I'm pretty pleased with that. We've talked the whole time. We've had a great time again. Yeah, I don't know that every episode will be an hour and a half long. But it's this has been this again. It's another fun episode. I'm happy with what we're doing. Um,
At this rate, we'll probably shoot for two, especially when Sound Geek gets back. So
yeah, he couldn't make it tonight. Scheduling maybe will work out a little better next time. And like we said last episode, we'll try and bring in more people throughout. Next episode, we will probably do a movie. So if you happen to watch this episode and have anything you want to see or hear, you know, toss in your 2 cents. We may not get to it immediately, but we'll try. May even introduce us to something new. But yeah, next episode we'll try and talk about a movie and pick something apart that we grew up with.
and if my son were here, he of course would say, "Make sure to hit that like and subscribe."
Yeah, because I'm totally forgetting that part. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Help us get this off the ground. Um, Again, we're just doing it for fun. We're having a blast. This is
Let's
what
see
we
where we
do
can take
anyway.
it.
So, yeah, if you watch this far, we appreciate it, and we'll catch you next episode. Um, have a good one.